Hi, Facebook friends. Helen Archontou here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. So happy to have some time with you today on this Tuesday. So this show is the first time we are doing this YWCA of Northern New Jersey tradition virtually. We have on YWTV. Every year, so I've been with the YWCA almost 10 years, but it predated me that every year the organization went through a process of identifying the top 10, the top 10 list for the year, which for those of you that I'm not dating myself, will remember David Letterman. He was a host on one of the first kind of evening talk show hosts, and he always had a top 10 list. And I think it kind of came from there. And each year our team would go through this process of identifying, what our biggest accomplishments were for the year so we could feel proud, because anyone who works in the nonprofit sector knows it's a tough place to work. There's a lot of give back for sure when something goes well, but you have to be scrappy to work in the nonprofit world and roll with it. And so some of those tough days, you really need to have a top 10 list to look at to remember, the joy of doing this work. So this year, no different than any other from this perspective, we had our team go through their annual survey where they identified what they felt our top 10 accomplishments for the year were. And that's what I'm going to share with you right now and present to you. So with that, we know that 2010 was definitely a different year. We know that the pandemic caused a whirlwind, within the first, 3 months of the year, and everything changed from there. There was definitely a lot of trauma in our community. There was definitely a lot of loss that people experienced, but what we know now, looking back at the year, there was also, with all of that, which we honor for sure, there were also moments to celebrate. There were also, ways that our community and individuals came together. And so there surprisingly, we were wondering what we were going to come up with on our top 10 from our staff. But, as with every year, this one no different, despite the uniqueness of it. There was a lot to celebrate. And we could not celebrate our top 10 every year without our incredible community. And that community is built of our wonderful staff, our amazing volunteers, our advocates, all the presenters for our programs, all of the partners that we have in the community, every one of our donors, our wonderful board members. And of course, this year in particular, we have a whole new group of people to thank, and that's all of you, our YWTV viewers. We thank everyone who has touched our organization during the course of this year in some way for helping make the magic of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey happen. We could not have done it without you. So with that, let's jump in to start with number 10. We do our countdown from the bottom up. So with that, and these are all, when you think about, there were so many accomplishments that came up for the year. These are definitely the highlights for sure. But YWCA of Northern New Jersey really took a stand early this year to focus on advancing Black businesses and advancing Black entrepreneurship in our community. And with that, we did that through education, through outreach, through community forums, through relationship building. And, this is an ongoing commitment of ours for sure. As we've shared with you over the last few years, we did bring the Bergen County Black Business Network, a networking and peer advisory group that was established for entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs under our umbrella. The focus of this group is to assist its members in building their respective businesses through exchange of referrals and business ideas, and helping build more businesses in the community. Together with that group, back in February, which it's hard to believe that there was a time that we were all together, and not that, just about a year, we hosted the first Black Business Showcase event for our groups. It was a wonderful gathering. It was a wonderful success. We had so many amazing businesses come together and share all of their wonderful their wonderful work. And with the community, we had a full house coming in throughout the day, and we planned to make this a regular event for the YWCA. Now, this year, it'll look a little bit different since we're not able to do a showcase event like that in person, but it was really a wonderful opportunity. And one of the great things that came out of that event for the YWCA was getting to meet Tevra Francis, who's the publisher of Bergen in Color. She was there, and it was a wonderful linkage for us too. We have very like goals of being able to showcase Black businesses in Bergen County, and we have over that time spent a lot of conversations, a lot of time supporting each other and making sure that we can continue to amplify all the great work and great businesses and great opportunities out there. Let me just say the YWCA, as we know, our mission is to eliminate racism and empower women. One of the key ways to eliminate racism is focusing on the economics of racism and creating an equality there. And so supporting Black businesses and businesses of Indigenous people and people of color as well really create an opportunity to be able to support economic equality. So we will continue to have that be a focus. We're so grateful for everyone who has helped us amplify this conversation and the various Black businesses and Indigenous people and people of color businesses in our community. And we look forward to continuing that as we move forward into 2021. So moving to number 9. One of the last, really the very last time as a group that the YWCA was together was our Women's Leadership Conference. And for anyone who comes to our Women's Leadership Conference, you know that it is an amazing high energy event that really inspires and lifts everybody in the room. People come and it's always sold out because it is that kind of experience. The speakers are great. The networking is great. We make sure we keep it at a price point that's affordable so that everyone can have one of those experiences that lift them and give them time and space to be able to dream and think about their future and ways to be able to support their individual development, their personal development, their professional development, and make new friends, make new professional contacts. And both have happened over the years. We've heard from so many people how someone that they connected to at our conference really created a major impact for them in their business and in their life. So we were all together, 120 plus people, hugging and feeling that like high and wonderfulness of being together. And then, of course, we know what happened shortly thereafter, about a week later. But what I'm excited to tell you is this year, although the world will still be virtual, likely in March, even though we're slowly moving towards seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, we still have a lot of masking and social distancing and, getting our vaccines and, keeping us safe until, all the orders are lifted here in New Jersey. But that is not going to stop us from having a wonderful Women's Leadership Conference this year. I can't wait to share with you the details early in January about what we will be doing for our Women's Leadership Conference. We're doing something a little bit different, but I know will be just as impactful. And stay tuned. Obviously, YWTV will be one of the places where we showcase what's coming so that you all can register and sign up and be part of the opportunity to still get lifted and inspired, even though we will be doing it a little bit differently this year. So with that, let's go to number 8. So with number 8, our team chose to focus on the amazing work of our healing space, our sexual violence resource center, and the accomplishments that they've had during the year. For those of you that don't know, the YWCA of Northern New Jersey runs the state-designated Sexual Violence Resource Center for Bergen County. And Healing Space has been a part of our organization for 20 plus years and doing such amazing work for our community. 24/7 crisis intervention that is provided through our confidential sexual violence advocates, and so much community education on prevention and making sure professionals understand mandatory report, all the important pieces of this work. Our team is out doing every day. So it didn't stop when the world went virtual. Literally overnight, we went virtual at Healing Space as well, and really made sure that everything was HIPAA compliant and supportive for all of our clients, and that we were working with all of our sexual violence survivors, as well as those that still were dealing with sexual violence for the first time during this time when we were all living so remotely. So kudos to our amazing team that not only were they able to take all of our existing programs and make sure that they were in place and intact to be able to support our community, which was, a big shift for our team because they had not worked with all these virtual platforms before. But we also launched some new programs in Healing Space, which was pretty amazing. You wouldn't think that this is a time that we could do that, but we did launch an incredibly robust and expanded creative arts program that included and does include still coffee houses, virtual coffee houses once a month, where survivors get together and share about their trauma through various arts. And it's been very, very impactful and a tremendous support during this time. And in addition to that, there's individual creative arts sessions and some other programs like yoga that have all been offered virtually for survivors. And we, of course, thank all of our funders, that have supported these programs and also supported the twist of doing them a little bit differently and allowed us the flexibility to be able to do that so that we could still have impact. I also want to share that we were able to pop up during this time for our sexual violence survivors programs for career counseling and to help them transition and manage some of the issues that come up in a workspace when you are also dealing with the trauma. And obviously the timing for that couldn't have been more on point. So many survivors were being impacted by COVID and having that impact their positions on top of also their trauma. So we were so grateful that we were able to still launch and be really impactful with this program during this time. So kudos to our entire team that also in the midst of all of this got a new leader. We brought on Saimaza Sadak in June of 2020. She's been managing and the team and meeting her team mostly remotely. But with that, she and our clinical supervisor and our, all of our team really have created a wonderful cohesive bond to only amplify the amazing work that they've always been doing. So thank you to our Healing Space team. And also before I close out to go to the next number, I also want to shout out that we did kick off in February of this year a wonderful space at Ramapo College where we planned on focusing prevention, education services, and counseling right on campus 2 days a week. Obviously, campus life changed significantly, so this wonderful space is not being utilized exactly how we envisioned it when we had this glorious ribbon cutting back in February. But we do appreciate the commitment that Ramapo has taken to addressing sexual violence on their college campus. And we do know that they have still been supporting this work virtually over this time, and we do look forward to being together again with them when it is safe to do that. So with that, we're going to move to number 7 on our list, which is also another one of those stories of a wonderful coordinator who joined us during this pandemic. She joined us and started also in June of this year, and she quickly jumped in and took all of our existing girls programs and pushed them forward in a whole new way and added a whole new menu, if you will, of programs for girls. So as many of you know, Empower You is our 10-month girls leadership opportunity, where we give girls the tools to be able to balance themselves physically, emotionally, intellectually, and just grow. And it's wonderful because it helps get them ready to be confident and college bound and think about careers. So she's been able to move that to a virtual platform, which has been very successful. But we've also launched our Gen on the Go, which is our Girls Empowerment Network, which is really an opportunity for tweens to be able to join with their caregivers and help them connect, make new friends, and learn about topics that are relevant for their lives. Over the course of this time that we've been living virtually, they've done some great conversations about mental health, emotional support, ways to be, etiquette friendly for the holidays, ways to take care of your body and mind during, in everyday life. So that has been wonderful, well-attended opportunities for our community. And in addition to all of that, thanks to Google, we have been able to launch our SAS Girls program, which is serious about STEM, which has been a learning opportunity for girls ages 9 to 14, where they can explore coding as a career. We have had such positive feedbacks about all of these programs. We have waiting lists for every one of them. And we have girls that are participating in them from all 5 of the counties that we serve. So it's been very exciting to see the growth, and we are really looking forward to 2021 and expanding what is ahead here as well. And, I have to, again, just, shout out to our amazing coordinator, who is, very hands-on and very creative. And, even though she's using all these virtual platforms, has found a way to really engage and connect with the girls in our community. So with that, let's go to number 6. So number 6 on our list is about our senior fitness and wellness programs. These are programs that we have been offering for years, and we've been hosting them in person at various locations around our county. But obviously, as the rest of the world went virtual, so did our senior fitness and wellness programs. And thanks to our amazing funders that rallied, the Bergen County Division on Senior Services and the Community Chest really came together and helped give us the space to be able to rethink how we can offer these programs. And with that, we now have 5 days a week. There's one happening right now as we're in YWTV. 5 days a week, we've been offering chair yoga, safe and fit, and strength training and core Zumba classes for the seniors in our community. And what really has, and the programs also are just bursting. We've had so many people sign up for these programs, which is wonderful. And that's been a real increase in terms of the impact that they have had from when they were in person. And, what's wonderful is that not only are we, from a physical perspective, helping everyone taking these courses get fit, but the feedback that we've gotten, which has been overwhelmingly positive, it's helped seniors stay connected and really break the social isolation that they have been feeling during this time of COVID. Many of our seniors are either living alone or just having very limited contact with people over this time, since they're not able to, be out and be connected to family, and family can't travel, easily to be with them. So this has really afforded the opportunity for them to keep their mind and their body strong, as well as develop friendships. And again, these programs would not be possible without the Bergen County Division on Senior Services and the Community Chest. We hope, if there are any seniors out there in the community or any that you send them to our website. We're taking a little hiatus over the holiday, but we go back full force come January. Once a month, in addition to our daily fitness classes, once a month we have senior health and wellness programs that are free, fun, informative, virtual presentations that focus on the health and well-being. And also, thanks to some other funding that has come through for the organization, we'll be rolling out an expanded version of senior programming for mind and body for them in the new year. So much gratitude to our funders, to our team, for making this such a accomplishment and success for 2020, and looking forward to expanding it as we move forward to 2021. And so with that, we move to number 5, the next chapter program for the YWCA. And this is really one of the true highlights and, positive faces of 2020 for the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. Who would have thought that in the midst of this COVID crisis that we would be able to launch a new program and have it in such a short time have such an impact? And yet we did. We know that COVID-19 has really disproportionately hurt women's employment. We saw that coming early on. We knew that women already were, clearly not ahead in this area. We saw it coming quickly. We were able to put together a program and work with our funders to be able to launch our free networking and skill development program, as well as individual career counseling and support for women that were either downsized, laid off, or furloughed because of COVID, or had to take a job that really was a transitional job and not really the right job for them and their families from the perspective of income and being able to support them properly. And we have been able to help them navigate unemployment. We've been able to help them with their job searches, and we've been able to help them with their interview process so that they could have an impact. So with that, so grateful to our wonderful team, and in particular, Sandra Bleckman, who is our career coach, who has been bringing together all these wonderful speakers in our community to launch this amazing effort. Just to give you a little sense in this short period of time, what we have accomplished since August of 2020 with these programs. We had 10 virtual workshops on topics like networking during COVID, interviewing with confidence, and interviewing online, and like this, which feels a little bit different. Helping give folks skills for salary negotiations, how they should build some emotional resiliency during this time that they are feeling the crisis, and really working with their LinkedIn profiles, because this is where a lot of the job seeking magic happens right now. We offer 2 Facebook Live events with seasoned recruiters and professional career coaches on job skills training. And we served over 335 women with this program during this time. And 46% of those women were Black or women of color. 93% of those women were between the ages of 30 and 60 years old, which are really the major breadwinning years for women. We provided 6 clients with extensive one-on-one employment counseling that was at no cost to them, that they would not have been able to afford otherwise, that really helped them move towards gainful employment. And we have had wonderful testimonials. In particular, here's to share one, is from Sandra shared. One of our clients really wanted to change her industries. Her goal was to move to a more project management position, but her resume was not focused in that area. We were able to revamp her resume, revamp her LinkedIn profile, help her showcase her strengths, and talk through some of the mental barriers that were holding her back of being successful in her goal. And so in the midst of this COVID crisis, she was able to find a wonderful position right in the area that she was looking for as being a project manager in a whole new industry sector. So if that's not a success, I don't know what is. We are so grateful to our funders of Women United in Philanthropy and the New Jersey Pandemic Fund that came together to support this effort. And we look forward to continuing to support women in our community who we know have been so incredibly impacted during this time. If anyone knows anyone themselves or knows someone who's interested in this service, please just go to our website and you can just search Next Chapter and you can register to be able to make an appointment with our career counselor. You can sign up for, we have a special a group for that, a networking group that we support, and you'll get invited to all of the wonderful workshops, that are happening. So that was number 5. We're halfway through our list. Number 4, YWTV ended up being a true shining star for our organization during this time. It started as kind of a moment of just wanting to stay connected with our community and make sure that people had the information that they needed to navigate this time, and also give our members and our community a little bit of a distraction from so much of the pressure and anxiety, especially early on, that we were feeling. So YWTV was created. We have always been an organization that has used social media and the live options, whether it's through Facebook or Instagram, to be able to connect with our followers. But this is different. This has been a lot more intense. There's a lot more that goes behind the scenes to make this happen. But this virtual platform has really provided a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to get key information out, to build relationships with community leaders, corporate partners, small business owners, activists that have offered insights and education on relevant topics that impact our lives. It's also been a wonderful opportunity to let all of you know about our programming around women's empowerment, racial justice, health and wellness, and family support. We have made so many new friends through this platform, both that have come on as guests and those of you that are watching. The amount of positive feedback has been absolutely overwhelming. And we are so grateful that not only you've been here to watch us live on Facebook as we are right now, but that you have been checking in for these episodes later, because they all live on our YouTube channel. I would be remiss in not doing a very big shout out right now to the behind the scenes team. I know I end up being the person on YWTV every day, but this could not happen without Christy Sabins, who is our one of our communications team leaders and around social media. And she has, she's making the magic happen right now. That's how I'm able to talk to you, because she's behind the scenes, flashing all the pictures, scrolling all the important information, and creating these wonderful visuals for all of you to be able to look at. And also, I have to do a shout out to Lori Murray, who's our director of communications, who really helps produce, curate. The two of us don't really spend a lot of time curating the guests, and she really focuses on putting together, with the guests, the details around the conversations that we have. And obviously other team members that are key and part of it, that are helping push out the information and do some of the back end for the notes. But this is truly a team effort for the YWCA, and has been a real shining star for us, and a real anchor for our community. So we are so grateful that we had something like this, like YWTV, to be able to, introduce and launch, during this time, and so wonderful that it's been received the way that it has. So with that, we move to number 3 on our list. So number 3's focus is really all about our racial justice work. As you know, the YWCA is committed. We do this work every single day. This is our mission. Over 100 years of focus has been on working to eliminate racism in our communities. But we know that during this time, and during 2020 in particular, we've seen absolutely, horrific murders of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, and so many others, unfortunately. And we've seen, different events that have just, and comments by leaders in our country that have just been appalling. And, quite frankly, it has pulled our world together in a different way. And we have seen people start to think about and learn more about racial and social justice work because of this time and the way we're living and the focus on what we've seen. And so the YWCA, as I said, we've always done this work, but we have definitely doubled down on our efforts. This is a time of reckoning for sure. And, we need to take this moment and move it forward. We cannot have what we've seen this year, continue. And we all, every one of us, have a place in eliminating racism and helping make that happen. We were proud to host essential community conversations like our YWCA Northern New Jersey Town Hall, where we discussed systemic racism and how it is in so many different areas around us. We started and launched our Share the Mic Now campaign, which, as you know, is our Thursday focus and continues to be and will continue to be. We've continued to support and plan on doing racism trainings. We had a solidarity circle for young people where we had them use arts as a way to be able to speak about what they have been feeling and living and dealing with. We are now, we spent some time, as I shared, focusing on Black entrepreneurship and helping support our Black businesses and businesses for people of color and Indigenous people in our community to be able to impact economic inequalities. And we launched our 21-day race challenge, which over 600 people have taken the challenge, and we want to and we plan on keeping it going and keeping that information out there in the community. It is important for everyone to learn and unlearn everything needed to be able to support eliminating racism together. We need to stand shoulder to shoulder on this one. And again, this is a turning point for our country. We cannot turn back. We must keep moving forward together to eliminate racism. And I'm so proud of our team and so proud of our community for being able to come together. And we have a lot of new initiatives planned to launch in 2021 that keep us laser focused on this, these conversations and on this issue and continuing to try to move the needle. So we look forward to you continuing to support them and to be part of, of this activism that we all need to be doing together. So number 2 on our list was all about the organization and operation doing the word of the year, the pivot of helping move the organization to virtual. As we all know, mid-March came. March 16th was our last day in the office. We literally sat together in groups all day long and launched how we were going to move forward, packed our bags and took what we took with them. And many of us have not been back to the office since then. That said, we have, I would say, not worked harder than we've had during this time. We overnight were able to move remote operations in every aspect of the organization. So grateful to our team for that patience and flexibility to make that happen, and learning new technologies and new ways to be able to support our community, which we would not have been able to do without them. And so grateful to our leadership team for providing support, and our board for making the tough decisions along the way with us to be able to support our organization and our staff. By far, this, I've been in the nonprofit sector for 20 plus years. I've never seen anything like this, and I don't know that I will again. But I do know that as much as it felt overwhelming in the beginning, especially now looking back, it really does remind you that we all have it in us. We just have to be tested for it to come out, and the resilience does come out, and the creativity comes out, and the greater good ends up being the focus. And kudos to our team and our entire organization for being able to help pivot us going forward during this time. And we will stay like this until it's safe, to return back to, being together again. So you can count on the YWCA to still be here to support you. And we're always listening. So please reach out if you can think of new ways to be able to do that. Again, just grateful to our team for embracing all the remote work tools, the processes, the routines to be able to do it all. And what I want to say too is we some of the unsung heroes of our organization really are the grant writers and the finance team, who spent a lot of time working on all kinds of applications to be able to get support into the organization from the various grants and various opportunities that became available for relief for nonprofit organizations like ours. And also our HR department, who had to spend so much time onboarding and offboarding people and furloughing people and then bringing people back when we were able to. There's all that behind the scenes stuff that no one knows goes on, but has definitely been part of our everyday reality to be able to keep this organization tight and strong and impactful for our community. And so grateful for all of those folks that are doing that work as well, because we are a team. And the same way we do some amazing programming in the community, if it wasn't for that foundation piece, none of that magic could happen either. So with that, we get to the big finish. Everyone always wonders what's going to be number one on the top 10 list. Well, I don't think it's really any surprise, but it is all of you. I mean, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for our supporters and donors, we would not have gotten through this year. And I do get emotional because it was a hard year for everyone, and it was a hard year on our team, but we did it. And I was grateful to sit with our team this year and have our little holiday party where we were able to reflect on all of that. But every one of you who wrote a check, no matter what size it was, every donor who came knocking on our door before we went to them and said, how can we help? Everyone who said, let's help put together some kind of event to be able to impact the organization. You all helped make us, be able to get through this time. And so I'm so grateful to you. As you can tell with my tears and my emotion, I'm very, very grateful. And of course, we ended the year at the YWCA with a tremendous surprise and a transformative gift that came from Mackenzie Scott. And, it was a surprise. But in some ways, what I can say is it was not a surprise that our YW team would get recognized in this way by a national philanthropist, because our team is stellar and top-notch. And I'm so proud to lead this team. And, we do it together every single day. And, I also want to say that, I do hope that any other billionaires out there, see what Mackenzie Scott has done. Leave it to a woman to, think about giving out money in this way where she, empowers leaders, gives them money, and then steps out of the way to let them do what they need to do for their communities. We are so grateful for the gift. Obviously, it's an investment and a commentary on our amazing team and the work that we've done. But as I shared, this is a difficult year, and even with a huge gift like that, which we will be doing so much and sharing, that the gift will be shared with the entire community and the work that we're doing for sure. The work is a lot and needs a lot of support to keep going. So we believe and hope that this gift that Mackenzie Scott gave and all of the donations that all of you have provided and all the support from all of our funders is a domino effect that continues into 2021. We know that, we encourage everyone to really support your nonprofit community and support the YWCA of Northern New Jersey in particular. The value of supporting our work ultimately makes the community stronger. So we thank everybody for every donation, for every grant, and everyone who rallied around us over this year, all of the volunteers who helped organize events, whether it was our DJ night or our Giving Tuesday campaign, everyone who pulled together. And with that, we got through another year. And so proud again of the work that we've done, and so thankful to all of you for being on this journey with us and staying tuned to see what we have been up to and connected to, and giving us feedback and helping us make sure that this program, which is for you, is actually giving you the support and the conversations that you need. Keep the feedback coming, because we'll be back in full force with all new episodes of YWTV. Early in the new year, we'll be showing you some of our favorite episodes between now and through your holiday season. But mostly what we hope for all of you is that it's a holiday filled with peace, love, laughter, and good health for everybody. And we'll see you in 2021. Stay connected with us on YWCA, Northern New Jersey at our website, here on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. And, we're excited to take a little rest, take a little break with our team, and regroup and be ready to make new memories for 2021 early in January. So thank you all for being with us. Lots of love, and we will see you soon. Take care. And thanks again to our whole YW team. Bye-bye.
Hello.